Hey everyone, Casey Scanlon here. Just got back from the Bassmaster Open on Santee Cooper. It was our third event of this season, and going to give you a quick rundown of how that event went for me. I had about 29 pounds for 2 days in the event, which put me in 99th place. Those guys busted them last week. Had a good practice, put myself around the right fish to do well in the tournament. It was just kind of a different event. Honestly, it didn't unfold how I thought it was going to. I thought I was going to go out there and get quite a few bites and catch a limit pretty easily and have a shot at some big ones. And had a shot at some big ones. Limits were not easy to come by, and the bite definitely changed come tournament time. So leading up to the tournament, fish were kind of in that pre-spawn mode. And I went out there with my Trophy Bass Company spinnerbait and the new XPS chatterbug, and found some fish relating to trees with current. And I also flipped the Bass Pro Shops Sticko 5 3/8 inch, I believe. This bait has put so many fish in the boat for me all across the country for a number of years, and it was a great bait this week. Ended up weighing in a lot of my fish on that, and the chatterbait, the spinnerbait bite really kind of went away. I weighed in, I think, a fish each day on it, and I believe they were honestly my smallest fish of the tournament. I was catching some really big ones, 5 to 7 pounders in practice on it. You can see this one right here I cut the hook off of because I didn't want to stick any more of those fish before the tournament. But, I went out there in the tournament first day, fished trees, and these are cypress trees. They've got some current rolling past them. Fish are kind of setting up to spawn there. They're some of the first trees that they're going to come to as they're moving off the lake. So I thought I had a good thing going. I thought I was going to intercept those fish as they were moving in to spawn. And, some guys caught them out there doing that. There's a lot of targets. I think I kind of got in a bad rotation maybe, but I didn't get the bites. And the ones that were biting, we're robbing that Sticko off the end of my line, but I was using 17-pound Bass Pro Shops fluorocarbon. I've got my new carbon light reel on here. This thing is awesome. It's low profile, sleek, fits in your hand really easily, casts well, and it's super light, which is always awesome when you're fishing all day. The lighter, the better, the less fatigue, the better. So I got my new Johnny Moore's Signature Series made in the USA rods and reels, or rod rather, and it's 7.2, medium heavy, great rod, really powerful. You can use it for a variety of applications, whether you're fishing a worm, throwing a buzz bait, spinner bait. You can really do it all with this one. So great all around rod, and put a lot of fish in the boat for me this week. So day one, went out there, flipped that Sticko around, no bites. Had a backwater pond where I got an 8-pounder, caught that 8-pounder in practice, and I went over there and looked at where he was at, and there was a hard spot there. I had a hard time seeing fish on spawning beds, but I knew they were spawning, and so I went in there late in the day, got my new carbon light technique-specific rod, and I was actually throwing a green pumpkin XPS chatterbug, chatterbomb. The new chatterbomb is a great bait, has an awesome hook. I was throwing it in the bluegill pattern, which is basically green pumpkin and blue, and awesome skirt color, and put a little green pumpkin trailer on the back of it. And I went right to where I caught that 8-pounder, threw up on top of the place, on that little hard spot, had like 5 or 6 bites in a row. Didn't hook a single one of them. They were just hitting the bait so hard, not getting it. So I went down the grass line, had one more bite, boiled that chatterbomb right at the boat. Looked like a good fish, missed it. So turned around, moved the nitro a couple hundred yards right to that waypoint, power pulled down, and made that cast repeatedly. I caught a 6, a 5, and a 4, and then caught one later on the spinnerbait to make 4 fish for 16-something pounds. And that was basically my first day. So pretty uneventful. I stayed power pulled down on that spot, trying to get one more big fish out of it, and it gave up one more 2-pounder on the spinnerbait. But I threw a variety of baits there, stayed there for the remainder of the tournament basically, or that tournament day. couple extra hours and just, man, didn't get it done. So it's kind of strange the first day. Guys caught them in some of those areas, whether it was fishing trees or in those backwater ponds. A few guys caught them sight fishing, but they were sight fishing with their perspective mode. That is such an awesome tool from Garmin. And it's such an awesome tool that I ordered another transducer this week. So we're going to be outfitted with 2 transducers on the trolling motor from now on. We don't want to miss anything because those guys were picking them off of beds and areas where I was looking for them with my eyes. And so it made a huge difference for those guys in the tournament. They were able to catch those fish off of beds, ones that, were too deep and in too dirty a water to see with the naked eye, and they picked them off on the perspective mode. So basically went into that backwater day 2, didn't catch them. Fished around in a circle a couple times trying to load the boat and didn't catch them. So made a few adjustments, hit a couple more ponds, nothing. And so then I made the move back out to the trees. I started on some trees where I got some bites on and didn't get a chance to work the first day of the tournament. Caught a couple and then basically started just running the pattern, trees in the current, kind of a little more isolated, and caught 13 pounds, had the opportunity at a couple more. It was just a weird bite. Fish are spawning. They don't get the bait like they should all the time. So weighed in 13 pounds and got out of there. So it was a tough tournament, but an amazing lake. The weights were huge. I think there was 49 20-pound bags the first day. So the fish in there are big. Bites aren't the easiest to get, but when you get one, there's a good chance that it's going to be a nice fish. So a lake that I really, really want to go back to. And, we've got 6 more events this year on the Bassmaster Opens at least. And after 3, I've really got to step it up. Got to step it up and start making some of these top 10s and start getting the job done. So I've got some awesome new equipment I'm playing with this year. Love the Bass Pro stuff. And they've got their Spring Fishing Classic going on right now. You can save a bunch of money on a variety of products. The new XPS line of baits is awesome. Whether you're looking at this Chatterbomb right here or any of their new crankbaits, spinner baits, buzz baits, they've got it all. And these new Carbon Light Technique specific rods are ones you really need to look at, along with the Johnny Morris Signature Series. A lot of cool products from Bass Pro Shops, a lot of sales, so check those guys out and stay tuned for the next Bassmaster Open. It's going to be at Logan Martin Lake, I believe at the end of April. I'm going to have to check my schedule. But I know one thing, Logan Martin's going to be fun. A lot of spotted bass. A big largemouth bite is going to be very important on that one. So weights are going to be tight. Going to be a lot of fish catches there. And it's a lake I've been on one other time before. Did decent. So looking forward to getting back there and fishing that one again. But appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for the next one. And hope you guys are out there catching some fish.